Da da dum da dum. Every time it's like I have to figure out a different musical way of doing our da dums. This time I went with the scat thing, like a scat da sort of deal.
Ooh, I liked it. I took a little bit more of a scoop melody. That's kind of like when you in continuing our musical theory lessons that we provide at the beginning of each episode, you start below the pitch you want to end on, right? So if you want to go, you start like, there you go. That's your scoop. Take that to the bank.
Because that's what we do here at the Grand Line Tourist, all right? We teach music, but also we do have a main thing that we do, a main thing that I have written down. So I could say it makes it sound just slightly more professional than when we started talking about fake music theory stuff. Actually, that's not fake music theory. Those are real definitions of musical
things.
things.
Do a little bit of both, You might need to sing a sea shanty. You might be named Sandy, and you might need to sing a sea shanty by the seashore.
Shanty. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. All right. You know what? Words are hard, but you know what's not hard? Here at the Grand Line Tourist, we are chapter by chapter examining or re-examining of Ichiro Oda's One Piece, which is a manga, which is an anime featuring pirates and not One Punch Man, that's superheroes. Jacob, 17 chapters ago, did not know the difference.
I was
but
confused.
now he does
but now
know.
I know now.
Now you do know. All right. The person talking on the mic right now, me, I am Eric Vu. I am the tour guide of this silly little podcast with a lot of heart. And sitting next to me, the man with no heart, the tourist.
That's right. I'm not going to... You just lost your tip. I'm Jacob Jarecki, and all these pennies that I've been saving up for eventually giving Eric, 1 penny times 1,000, you move it over. I think you would have made I might have had $100 tip at the end of that, right?
You're gonna pay me $100 in pennies?
Oh, it might have only been $10. I don't know. If counting in pennies is hard, but either way, that tip's out the window. Now that you've called me a heartless tourist.
I mean, only a heartless man will pay anybody in pennies. That's very cruel and unusual.
You may be right. For all the efforts you provided, that would be a pretty cheap tip. But that's what I'm sticking with. I'll maybe if you can really impress me with maybe what we're doing today.
All right.
Maybe I'll up it to dimes. We'll see.
Oh, the dimes. Okay, let me clear my throat. There we go. We're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and read the itinerary, people. Please, again, no flash photography. Please put away your phones. You guys know the rules. Yeah. Looking at you, Jacob. You're the only one on the boat. Sometimes Christian joins in, but at this moment it's just you. All right, for today.
Good old Christian.
For today, the fight continues. Surprise, surprise. Zolo bleeding, saying like, "Come at me, bro. My wound's bigger, but you're still gonna lose."
Mr. Tour Guide.
Yeah.
Mr. Tour Guide.
Yes.
What chapter are we on?
Oh my goodness, you're right. I didn't even say the title of the thing. Wow, I'm in it. I'm too in the zone. This is chapter 17.
See if you can make nickels. You're not getting dimes for sure.
Chapter 17, titled High Level, Low Level.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't actually know why that means yet. I haven't thought about that hard enough. But continue. Maybe by the end of the itinerary, I can put it together.
I think I have an idea. It'll remind me to pay off this title. I think I can.
All right.
Yes, the fight continues between Zolo and Kabahi. Zoro announces very loudly that he refuses to lose to anybody who calls themselves a swordsman, even though he kind of already has an opinion about Kabahi as a swordsman, as we can tell. He's ready to win. Nami, again, does the Nami thing where she's like, hey, I'm going to go do my own thing, so if you go and you get that map...
boys.
Yeah, if you get that map from Buggy, then maybe I'll consider joining you again. 2 chapters earlier, she said she was down to join forces. Now she's like, I'm going to go do my own thing. But you get that map, something that I want, then maybe we could be friends. She's the ultimate, she strings you along.
Almost classic pirate in the, I want to be on the best winning side sort of thing. If my pirate knowledge from Disney movies is anything to go off of, which it probably is not.
Right. Kabahi goes and he does his ultimate string of tricks, right? So he starts off with tops. He throws tops at Zoro to confuse him, right? Like, here, so he calls them kamikaze tops. He throws it at him. And then he goes, okay, now I'm gonna unicycle the heck off my legs and go up the side of a mountain to get some sort of leverage to shoot himself into the air. So he goes and he shoots himself into the air while Zoro's blocking tops being thrown at him. And then he's gonna try and land on him with his unicycle wheel, which is crazy. All of this is for a dive kick with the unicycle to try to hurt Zoro.
I could barely stand on a skateboard, so
right,
I'm
dude.
impressed.
Skateboard scare, the bejeebus out of me now. Simply because I think I'm older and I know that falling off that thing is gonna hurt me so much. Buggy, just as dirty as his crew, as Kabahi, as the second mate, decides that, hey, I'm gonna insert myself into this fight. So he shoots one of his hands at Zoro as Zoro's blocking tops, trying to make sure that Zoro can't move out of the way of this ultimate unicycle dive kick that's coming down at him. Luffy comes in, steps on Buggy's hand, is like, yo, you gotta stay out of this fight. You don't interrupt my bro, my first mate, while he's about to own your second mate, who is did a very elaborate Groot Goldberg machine steps to try to just dive kick Zoro here. Zoro is able to dodge. Zoro essentially beats Kabahi in one swing, right?
Onigiri!
Yes.
I don't know if that's how you say it, but
which is now...
I went for it.
Yeah, that's great, dude. You did a good job. Redeeming yourself from last chapter when you read the wrong way. When you read dialogue the wrong way. Zoro pretty much passes out after he beats him, and he's like, yo, we're awesome. And Buggy's like, I can't believe we're losing to thieves. And Zoro's like, right before he passes out, we're not thieves, we're pirates. And he passes out. And now Luffy and Buggy, they're ready to fight. This is where the arc's coming to. But right before they fight, Buggy goes, ugh, Luffy, you bugged me. Buggy, the pirate's bugged by Luffy because you and your straw hat and your damn sense of honor reminds me of that fool with the red hair.
Red hair! We probably know who that is, right?
I mean, I assume. I mean, we can guess, but who knows?
Well, actually, it's kind of interesting because I actually don't know why I know this. Shanks has red hair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but is it because of the cover? Like, the art's all black and white, so, like, why do I know he has red hair? Either they said it, maybe they said it. I'm not sure.
I think there's a color panel in chapter 1 in the Romance Dawn.
I definitely think he's on. I want to say he's on the cover of the. No, he's not. He's not on my cover. But you're right. Maybe there's a color panel somewhere that I. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, because I knew who it was, but I was like, wait, how can I possibly know who that is? But maybe there's just not any other obvious choices. You know,
they've also. I think that's the name of his crew, like the Red-Haired Pirates or something, right? Or something crazy like that. Yeah,
must be.
Yeah, so that's the whole chapter. I mean, I did a long-winded way. We did a lot of back and forth. It felt good. It felt like we were vibing. But let's talk about this chapter. What are your initial thoughts on what happened? Kind of went down.
I like how crazy these fights are getting. You know.
Yeah.
Although maybe we gotta take away some points from Kabaji for not being a proper swordsman. I feel like I give all those points back for the entertainment he provides with all his circus tricks. It's pretty crazy, right? I mean, tops. I mean, the motorcycle attacks. To me, that unicycle practically is functioning as like an awesome motorcycle. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
going up walls.
He's just. I can see why Zoro's so pissed. He's like, I thought I was gonna fight a swordsman. You are just a dude who did way too much stuff to try to bust me up with just swords. Like, swords are your finishing touches, but like you're not even really fighting with the sword. I want to bring back the discussion from last chapter, which is the acrobat versus the swordsman part 2, and we continue to see these crew cultures clash. Yeah, bring him back, gifting. I'm rewarding the listeners for remembering that callback.
This is like. Step aside, MCU. Like, there's new kids in town.
Yes. So we're getting into it, and just kind of like not really bringing back the discussion, but more just reinforcing the discussion from last chapter, which is that like Buggy intervened in this fight. Right?
That's true.
Like,
it's no good.
He had like no qualms doing it, man. And if you actually see earlier after like in the beginning of the chapter, Zoro is like. I'm gonna come. You're gonna come at me, and Zoro says that really insulting thing where he's like, because Kabahi's calling him out and saying like you're making your wound deeper is like a good excuse if you lose, but Zoro's like, nah, dude, I'm gonna be ashamed if my wound wasn't deeper when I kick your butt. Like I need to be.
Yeah, no, it was a good turnaround of what was it was actually kind of quite an intellectual discussion in the middle of this fight, right?
Yeah.
Like, how will the sword. I mean, I don't know, I guess the general public of the world, when they hear about this fight, how will they perceive us?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Which is like
to step back from in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, who's telling these stories? But Buggy shoots in his hand, and like, I brought that up. Sorry, because in those during that conversation, there's a single panel of Buggy, and you can already tell he's like worried, right? So just bring him back just a little bit more now on Buggy and Luffy as captains. Buggy has like zero faith in Kabahi's win at this point, right? Like, why else would he intervene? Yeah. Like he's so nervous about losing, and then we didn't mention this in the last chapter, but Kabahi says, after we see that they defended themselves from a Buggy Ball using the bodies of a lion and other crew members, Kabahi says to Buggy, like, this is the most shameful defeat we've ever had since you put us together, right? They're obsessed with reputation, like it's crazy.
Yeah.
And you can see like the weight and the stress of that, like in that panel already. Oda does such a good job. Like you don't know what Buggy's gonna do, but my money was like, oh, he's gonna try and add himself somehow.
Definitely. No, and it was cool to see Luffy step in because,
yes.
Before I mentioned that Luffy is not going to step in this fight. He's not going to mess with the honor of the fight unless someone else is trying to do something dishonorable, right? And that's why hand meets foot.
Yeah, and I think that's super cool. And then I think another thing, too, I wanted to bring up is that he's going to do this a lot later. When his crew members say, like, this is my fight, then Luffy's like, all right, then I'm gonna let you fight it, right? I'm not here to dissuade you. I'm not here to insert myself into your fight if you're saying that's what it is. And he does that. I mean, he's doing that for Zoro now, but he'll do that again, for every crew member later. I also think like it's a crew culture. It's a belief. It's a core tenet of his pirate crew that he believes. Also, I want to just say for you to note this conversation because it's gonna come up again.
Okay.
This whole thing, not this specific fight, but like this whole idea of if you're saying this is your battle, then this is your battle, sort of deal, and like how far Luffy's willing to take that ideal and that.
Ooh, yeah, no, I can. In my mind, I can imagine it going pretty far. I mean, just for some of the violence in One Piece looks really brutal. So now I'm just like, we're dealing with Zoro who's getting his wound kicked in, right? It's not visually not the. I mean, you can tell it hurts, but like it doesn't scream like horror and like death in a way that I think some One Piece panels kind of can. So like I'm picturing, I don't know, right now I'm imagining like someone's teeth getting knocked out mid-fight and Luffy just standing there doing nothing, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. It'll be weirder to take it if it goes that far. We'll see. I'm going to be worried about how far he's going to take that now that you've mentioned it.
Do you have any other thoughts about the fight itself, specifically in the fight and the way this fight ends, and just kind of the you're saying earlier that they're getting more entertaining fight wise?
Yeah, no, I just think because they start so highly insane and ridiculous, you kind of wonder like how are they going to continue? How are they going to keep my attention fight after fight? And seems like worry is misplaced. It seems that there's no amount of ridiculousness that Oda is not willing to take seriously and make into an interesting fight. And so that's really cool to see that, like, I don't expect anytime soon to be worried about being bored by a fight. And this one ends pretty cool. I wanted to ask if this was kind of a trope a little bit. The bad guy getting like a last moment to think about like his death, not his death, but his knockout as it happens, because in this one, this is where I think as Kabahi goes down, that's where he's thinking, oh, this is, I can't believe we got beat by, not pirates. What does he say? He says we got beat by something.
By thieves.
Got beat by thieves, yeah. And as he's going down, he's thinking that. And I was just like, it's almost, I can kind of see it playing out in live time where someone's like, oh, last fight going down. I wish I had, why'd we get beat by thieves? Clash. Felt like a trope that I'd seen maybe kind of got from movies and stuff, more so from, and actually, was he saying that out loud? I actually thought that was an internal dialogue that happened with, not out loud. You don't think so? He's saying it out loud. How do you know? Because that type of bubble, the bubble was different.
I also don't think it's Kabahi saying it.
Who's saying it?
I think Buggy's yelling it.
Buggy's yelling it. Well, so that would make a little more sense because the panel, the text box. There's probably a better term for this in manga, which I will look up and tell everyone next time. But the text box is of a certain style that made me think that it's not
like
a normal one, right?
No, he's yelling.
And maybe
it,
that's what you. Yeah, and that would make sense because he's yelling it. I didn't put that together. Thank you for correcting me, dear tour guide.
Because he's really upset. Because okay, so it hit me here too in this panel is that he still thinks they're thieves. He doesn't know they're pirates, and that's very important in context of where the story is at right now, and specifically this chapter, because Buggy doesn't know they're pirates, and it's because I'm a tour guide and I've been. This whole story has been in my life for such a long time. They haven't officially. No one knows they're pirates. Nobody knows about Luffy. No one knows. They know. They only really know about Zoro as a pirate hunter.
Yeah.
Right. So he's really upset that he's losing the thieves because he thinks they're thieves, and this is why I think it's so cool when that Zoro gets the answer that we're not thieves, we're pirates. It's kind of like introduction of Luffy, the Luffy pirates, the Straw Hat pirates to the world.
Very cool. Yeah. No, this is where word's gonna get out about them. You know.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be able to. You can't contain after this. You know.
You cannot. Okay, so just kind of moving a little forward to bring it back to the captains, because the next fight obviously is Luffy versus Buggy. But before we get to the physical fighting, because they didn't do any physical contact other than him stepping on his hand. I want to talk about their battle of dreams.
Oh,
their dreams, their overall
dreams.
Yeah, their
Did you have any dreams today, Eric, when you woke up? Could you remember any of them?
I cannot.
I sometimes write mine down, but I can't remember what I wrote down. So it's in there if we ever need to have a battle of dreams ourselves. But take me through
battle?
this more interesting battle of dreams.
Yeah, and I'm specifically talking about because Luffy tells Buggy that, hey, give me the map to the Grand Line. He's like, what are you gonna do? You gonna go sightseeing? No,
yeah.
That's what Jacob's gonna do.
Okay, wait, I gotta interrupt and call out right there because I just had a note about that particular line, and you just mentioned it, so I gotta say, this is the wonderful time where we look like geniuses for the name of our podcast. What are we gonna do on the Grand Line, Eric? What are me and you gonna do? We're gonna go sightseeing through the eyes of Luffy and the crew. So I just wanted to throw that out there. That was like the first time where like the context of the lines in One Piece lined up with our ultimate motivation. So I just wanted to call it out, but. Pardon my rude interruption.
All of that, Jacob, needs to go on a shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Your little spiel there needs to go on a shirt.
Grand Line sightseeing.
Yes. So, he asked that, and that's when Luffy answers, I'm going to be Pirate King. And then Buggy goes, you're going to be Pirate King? Then I'm going to be a Pirate God.
God!
Yeah, because I deserve... Essentially, he's like, I'm going to have all the riches in the world over there. That's what this is. Right? Like, this is, they have the same kind of dream, but they want it for different reasons. Yeah. Right? Like, Buggy, again, going back to his whole theme of being a showman, he wants it for the respect and the money. And maybe even the money, like, in his head, money does equal, like, power and respect. Right, like that's why he wants to be like rich, or that's why he wants to be like Pirate King or whatever it is. Right, he wants the respect, he wants the power. Whereas Luffy, I think he hasn't really flat out said it, and I was looking through the past stuff too. Like he hasn't really said why he wants to be Pirate King. But
no, it's true. Like if you had to guess, I was gonna say he's not flat out stating it, and like I'll let you throw in your guess, but I would guess something along the lines of to create a better world for pirates, or like to allow his honorable vision of pirates to exist in a way that they can't as long as we have people like Buggy going around.
Ooh, I like that second one. Yeah, I think your second your second point is along the line where I was kind of put. The one thing I wrote down because I couldn't figure it out, like I couldn't really think because he hasn't said it yet. But I was like, it definitely doesn't have to do with money. So money and treasure has no appeal. That aspect of being a pirate king has no appeal to him, right? But I was thinking, like, what if, like, kind of like going along with what you said before, what if in his head, like, if he becomes a pirate king, then his idea of being a pirate is kind of like the best way to be a person, because he right, like he holds himself to a very high degree. He kind of holds himself to Shanks, and in his eyes, Shanks is like just a very good human being, like a good citizen of the world, and he's a pirate, so he wants to be king pirate, making him like the best version of a human, of a person, right? Like,
and it's so weird to like imagine that that's Luffy's motivation, only because when you state it, I could just never imagine Luffy stating that.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Why do you want to be king of the pirates? Because I want to be the best person I can be. It's
Yeah.
just, I feel like not going to come out of Luffy's mouth, but I think it's actually kind of correct. It's just that for Luffy, it's just natural. It's kind of built into him why he's doing it. But so I don't think we're ever. It's not quite a tinfoil time. I don't think we'll ever hear Luffy put it in those sort of words. Like, I'm not sure. He might come close with some, some phrases here and there, but I don't think it'll ever be so blunt. Just because it's not, the way he exists is ingrained in him more so than it is, something that he can write in a manifesto that he spreads around.
Yeah, dude. So I like it. So now this is interesting. Now this fight kind of means something different, and to add on more weight to this fight, the fact that he brings up Shanks at the end. Well, we assume he says, "Your straw hat and your demeanor reminds me of that young fool with the red hair." Yeah. Which I hope we get an answer to in the next chapter.
Oh yeah, no, I expect we will.
How did you like that tie-in to potentially Shanks from Buggy of all people?
I think for me, I don't. I'm probably a person that is on the lighter end of the spectrum. That for me, it's like, it helps with this feeling of flow. Just like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. That's in this world. It exists. I like it, right? I think in particular, they're not queuing it up too much. I think I'm the kind of person that if you queue up something like this with a little too heavy of a hand, it'll actually be a negative for me. If you're like, if you just really go blunt on it, in a way that seems like, oh, aren't you all so excited that Shanks is coming back? Let's hear it for Shanks. Yeah. Like this is like, I think the perfect amount of like, hey, it's a cliffhanger for a chapter. There's lots of chapters. Because I think in other types of media that I tend to absorb, callbacks can leave me feeling a little bit negative if their only sake is to make you feel like, oh, I'm excited because I heard a callback. But this feels very natural. Just like, oh no, we're building out the world. Shanks is a member of that world. Of course, Shanks would have interacted with other pirates. He interacted with this one. That's important to Luffy. We're good. We're solid.
Yeah.
What about for you? Does it do you get a tingle of excitement? Do you go like, oh, or like it doesn't? I know for some people maybe that's what happens. For me, not quite. But this is like the best version of it, I think.
Yeah, I think I am. I know it's a tease. I know what's coming. I know what their relationship is. But I also like to note that he says young, like a young version of that kid. So again, it makes it. What Shanks also says, Shanks affirms also in the first chapter when Shanks takes off. Shanks like that Luffy reminds me of me exactly at that age, right? Gotcha. So this is two people confirming that. I'm very interested, at least where I currently am in One Piece, to see Shanks and to see what he's kind of like, what he's become. Yeah. And compare it to what Luffy is trying to become too. So that'd be cool. My heart will break if Oda decides that Shanks needs to be a bad guy at the end of this all.
Oh.
Now to be shattering and also in my head unnecessary, but
so got some comments from the Writers Guild over there.
Right, yeah, from my opinion hat. Yeah. The only last thing I want to bring up is that Nami now has betrayed Luffy like 3 times, twice. Like
this wasn't a full-on betrayal. This isn't a betrayal. This is just a little bit of insurance. Okay, you're giving Nami a hard time.
She's doing it a lot, I have to say, and I didn't realize how much she did it in this arc, but I get it, and you know who gets it more is probably Luffy. But this conversation actually leads, or I'm pointing out this moment, it leads to one of my jokes. So, how's your belly? Ooh. Is it still full of fire?
It's eaten 18 cartons of tres leches cake.
There it goes. There it is. Paying off that lactose intolerance. So it's ready to rumble. I don't even know. You're not lactose intolerant, huh?
No, I'm not.
Oh my goodness, we needed to flip it.
No, all I was referencing was that, like, a rumble in your tummy. That's like the start of a possible laughter. I know that's not how most people describe their laughter. It was a bit odd. I will be the first to admit it. But
no, I was the reason I labeled it as lactose intolerancy. But that's really, I was just talking more personally. When it gets too close to the real thing, you lash out, and I'm the one who's lactose, and I had to lash out.
Oh, are you?
A little bit, yeah. Things happen.
Oh my goodness! Sorry, my friend.
That's why I know. That's why I knew the word lactate. That's why I knew what lactate is. There. I don't know why I whispered it. I also came in real close, make the mic hot when I said that word.
Take this. Turn this tearjerker around of not envisioning my friend being able to ever eat ice cream again, and give me a joke.
Yes. My joke as actually comes off of the moment that we were talking before we got into this weird rant about how our bodies handle milk and dairy products. Is she goes after she says all of that about like if you get the map, maybe I'll think about joining your crew again. I think she says something as like "Have fun, boys" or something, and Luffy goes,
yeah.
"Oh, hey, thanks." Like he's like really happy that she said that.
Which is just so like it's so Luffy, right? Like to take that sort of comment as like, oh, Nami's wishing that I have an actual fun time during this fight, which as a pirate, I expect too. That's gonna happen. I'm so excited. Isn't this great?
Yeah. She says, I looked it up, and she's like, okay, well, good luck, boys. See ya. And he's like, wow, thanks. So cool. He's just he's just a good boy, a good hearted.
Yeah.
Boy. Did you see any other jokes? I mean, most of this chapter ends up being pretty grim, but
yeah, I know. I think I got two good ones at least.
Okay.
I thought Kabahi, when he was talking to Zoro towards the beginning, after Zoro like retorts back the idea about how the wound is gonna help him keep his reputation because if he was to lose with lesser wounds, right, then it would if he was to win with lesser wounds, it wouldn't even be a win, right? I like how Kabahi says back to him like, "You scurvy dog." It just is like. It was almost like a little moment of acknowledgement between them two. Like, Kabahi was kind of a little bit of respect that was, in the middle of a fight. You always like to see that between the combatants.
Kabahi has to be scared out of his mind at this moment. Like, he's
true.
done a good amount of tricks leading up to this point, and this guy just made his wound bigger. Like, what's this guy saying? And he's what is this? This guy's a monster. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I get your fear.
No,
Fear.
He's such a monster that after Zoro defeats him, Zoro says, "I'm going to sleep now."
That's your other joke?
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, that was good.
That's the only way he recovers. We know that. That's canon. That was set up a few chapters ago.
It's pretty awesome. I never seen it play out so bluntly before. Yes, when Zoro's like, you know what? I can feel it. Luffy, I'm going to take a nap.
Yes.
Middle of the ground, in the middle of the ground where they're gonna fight. I assume,
Yes, and now he's asleep. I guess that's it for the haha. So, I mean, we have to fight. Let's do some battle music. We didn't do battle music last chapter, so let's do some battle music. Yeah.
Eric, it's time for the panel battle. And how about you let all our tourists and future becoming tour guides out there? What are we doing here? Let them know.
Yeah, so this is the part of the podcast where we just take a moment. We both select a panel that we both enjoy. We raise them. We treat them right. We take them out to dinner, and then we make them fight each other in bloody war. Well, artistically. Well, this is just a way for us to geek out, for me and Jacob to geek out about our favorite panels in this chapter, and then we both decide who won, who wins. Like last week, no one's counting this, but last week, I mean, I'm not counting. It's just a fleeting memory. Last week, Jacob conceded
Eric
to me.
destroyed. I conceded by far. Actually, I don't actually know if we don't always declare who's the winner, but like last week, I could not help but say that Eric was the winner. Such a winner.
Yeah, it was a very cool moment for myself. Also, this is the reason why we never declare is that we're still trying to goad people into like writing in, and only Christian has.
Yeah.
So, big shout out to Christian. He's probably gonna listen to this, and I hope he gets happy that we shout him out once again.
Yeah, no, and we really want to shout out everybody out there. So get out your old touch type teleprompter. I have no clue. I wanted to say some old computer, and I had no old computer names in my head. Get out your IBM, get out your Commodore 64, and send us an email at grandlinetourist@gmail.com. And let us know your favorite panel, Let us know how you're liking the show. Leave a review on iTunes and the Apple Store. Do all that sorts of fun stuff. We love calling people out and engaging with you guys, so go for it.
All right, I'm going to read your thing.
But I'm ready to engage with you. Check it out.
Oh. Sting of the Unicycle is the panel, and it's a really pretty panel of at the what's it called, the apex of
Apex, Apex, the zenith, the summit.
Yeah. It's this is Kabahi after he's ridden up the side of a building, the apex of his trajectory up, and this is him coming down. We get the onomatopoeia of zwing, which I don't know what that is. The sword, or is it the unicycle? Who knows?
I feel like it's gotta be the unicycle.
And the name of this move, like I said earlier, is the Sting of the Unicycle, which is just his dive kick featuring a unicycle.
Yeah, no, you got it. I just like how the camera's kind of tilted up as Kabahi's coming down, and it makes the wheel of the unicycle look so big. And I think I mentioned before, feeling like it's just like almost as if it's like a gigantic motorcycle wheel just like rolling along. And I just think it looks so cool. I really like I never thought I'd have so much respect for a unicycle in look on the page. So super awesome.
Yeah, it's great. It's great that he fights like a clown. All right, let me show you my panel. Here we go.
What do we have here? Oh, we have a panel of Zoro is the one saying we're pirates, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Zoro is just fallen over after Onojiriing, demon clashing right through Kabahi. You see Kabahi just on the ground next to him. Really, if you walked across this fight, you wouldn't know who won. And that's because Zoro is preparing to sleep. But we have Zoro, leg still in the air as he's falling down. Kabahi slightly behind him, clearly defeated. And Luffy looking back at Zoro, and then even further in the distance, Buggy looking at all this going down. And I think this is kind of cool because it's transferring almost one fight to the next fight in a way. First fight's finished. These two are on the ground. Clank, clank, swords falling. And we know who's coming next. It's Luffy and Buggy, our two characters in the background in the distance there. And there's also a Foom, which I guess is Luffy's body falling onto the ground. And yeah,
Zoro's
that declaration.
Body.
Yeah, Zoro's body falling down. And the declaration that we're pirates, you've kind of convinced me is pretty darn cool, especially at this particular moment. So very nice.
You just named the reason why I liked it so much. It's like
okay.
It's the first mate and the second mate laying down after their fight, right? One's clearly a winner, but it's also like a declaration of like, we are now here. We're here.
Yeah.
Right? Buggy, I mean, the next few panels is Buggy like being like, you guys are pirates? What the heck? Like I keep forgetting it, but at this point in the story, nobody knows who these two are, or nobody knows what those two are together. Like, what crew is this? What are they doing, right? Like, so it's kind of cool to see, like, this is the panel that introduces them to the world, to the rest of the world, really. Or to the pirate world, at least. Because now one pirate crew knows them.
No, fantastic choice. And I think we're pretty equally matched today, is what I would say. I would say we don't have a clear victor.
So we need people to vote. We need people to vote, or people to throw in other panels, so we can be mad about it.
I was thinking today, Eric.
Yes.
We mentioned a certain red-haired pirate, and
okay.
I happen to have arguably red hair, and
arguably is the right word for that. Yes.
Arguably, wait, is it really that arguable?
I never thought of your hair as red.
Interesting. Some people really do. Some people actually really don't. I think some people say that's just a shade of brown, and some people I've literally called me a redhead before. I've been very surprised when it happens. But so there we go. Arguably, I have some red tinted colored hair, and so I was actually thinking, let's do a little bit of some hair ASMR.
Oh,
in particular,
my God.
I'm gonna get some beard crinkles across my field recorder. You get some nice swooshes with your black locks there. So
okay. So I did. I just tested that just a little bit just to see if they picked it up, and they do. So let's do this thing.
Very good. Okay.